We're going to talk about the Gary V method for hiring content creators. So for those that don't know, Gary V is a prolific content creator. I actually asked Google Bard how much content he creates in a day, and it says 100, and it broke down the channels. I actually think it's more than 100. And I know for a fact that his personal content team has over 50 people now, and they just go crazy when it comes to producing content. So we want to talk about, I'm going to share, Neil, you probably don't know this. I'll give a little more
Yeah,
context here.
I'm like, this is all you. Share the framework, share how people can do it, and we'll go over learnings
Yep.
from.
I was actually taking a look at how he goes about hiring content creators. And you and I were talking on the phone about this the other day, but I listened to him on a podcast, and he gets crap from other people sometimes about hiring people that are straight out of college for $20 an hour, and he hires an army of them. And I understand why they might be upset, but I actually think it's smart because he hires people that really understand social. Because if you think about it, who are the ones that are actually using these platforms heavily? When I look at 20-year-olds around me, their behaviors are literally scrolling TikTok the whole time. And at least for Neil and I, we're not like that. And so it's like, you have to understand that they understand the cultural zeitgeist more than we do. And so you want to hire people that understand the game and they know how to play it. And so what he does is he puts out, and you can literally search for Gary V content creator rolling application. You can find his job description. What he does is he will have a rolling process. And what that means is you can apply as a content creator at any given time. And it doesn't matter if you're good at blog. It doesn't matter if you're good at TikTok. It doesn't matter if you're good at long form YouTube or whatever it is. He just wants to see your stuff, and it's open application. And so he has a constant pipeline of people coming in. And I believe that what he does is he takes the best people for his own stuff, and then he takes maybe the next tier afterwards and sends it over to his agencies. And that's how he goes about hiring content creators.
I don't know if he would take the best people for him stuff or for his stuff, and then the rest for the agency. I bet he probably takes the best people for both because he must have enough applications where he would just
The
take them
best
for
of the
both.
best, though. If you had the best of the best, you would pick them off for yourself. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why I said that. So he has said that he's settled on the idea that he cannot expect his agency services to be nearly as good as his own marketing. And I think that makes a lot of sense. He's like, yeah, because his agency should just be competing with other agencies, but his marketing needs to be like top tier. So
I don't know why his agency can't try to also be top tier. I think
it's
the
hard to
biggest
match it. I think it makes sense. If you look at your own marketing and my own marketing, I used to be like, why can't they match it? It's hard to match it.
sometimes is better than my own marketing. It depends what it is. There's not a reason why they can't match it. The thing that I've learned is it depends on the clients and the restrictions. That actually affects the quality more than anything else. You can actually match the same type of quality and everything for a company, but it matters on a few things. What's the vertical they're in? Because let's say if someone's going after mesothelioma, it's not going to be as sexy as talking
Right.
about what I would do when I was 20 years old if I was starting my career all over again.
Well,
You're
let
just
me
not going to
rewind
go
real quick.
viral.
So let's add this wrinkle in. So let's just compare apples to apples here, right? So Gary V's brand, like his social brand, him building a personal brand versus him doing that for clients, because we know he has a service where he does that for clients. And the most successful one, I think, would probably be like Tom Bilyeu. Yeah. Do you know of anybody else that he's done it for?
I don't know. Tom works with him, but yeah, Tom's done really well.
Yeah. So
I think,
anyway, keep going.
yeah, yeah. I didn't think about it from that perspective. I thought he was doing it for companies. I didn't think that he was doing it for individuals, but makes sense if he's doing it for individuals.
Yeah, and I think it makes a lot of sense. Neil, let's say you have two kids, right? But let's say I had a kid. Obviously, you're going to take care of your babies more than you take care of mine, right? Or care about them more, right? It's the same situation. That's a crude example, but it is what it is.
That's different though. That's like your own kids, right? Versus someone else's kids.
Yeah, but you're going to watch over your own house more, is my point.
Sure. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I would agree with you
So
on that one.
what I'll add on more here is I would highly
But how
recommend that.
does he get the talent, right? So let's say someone here is listening and they want to recruit people like Gary does. What's the framework to get A, the applicants, because most people don't have the social following, and B, what's the process of interviewing and weeding out the people that aren't that good?
Yep. Here, let me share my screen over here. So this is those of you that are following us on YouTube. I highly recommend you follow us on YouTube, by the way, because that's where we share our screen. So this post is from April 2021. There's actually some newer ones, but it says Team Gary Vee now hiring freelancers globally. So I'm not answering your question directly quite yet. I'll get to it, Neil. But I think what is this? I would just steal his job description. So I think he hires good content creators. That's the first thing I'll say here. So just look for what he posts for content creators and post creative strategists. So these are people just focused on post production, because all he wants for his media team is he just wants to post produce stuff. He's not a fan of creating content. He's a fan of documenting stuff, and he's a fan of post producing. So I would just say, take a look at this. And what he does, this is what Gary Vee does. Obviously, he has a big following on LinkedIn, Twitter, and all that. So he just posts and saying, hey, we're looking to hire over here. And a lot of people engage with it. Now we should give some practical examples here. So what I would say is, if you don't have that big of an audience, what you could do is you can go to Twitter, you can go to LinkedIn and say, hey, who are the best content creators? We're looking to hire people that do short form, that do long form YouTube, that do podcasts, that do video editing. Tag them in here. And if we make the hire, we'll give you X $1,000 or X $100, whatever it is. And those posts typically do well.
Okay. And then, so he's getting tons of applicants. You're saying he's paying them per post?
No, I'm saying, so he does it he has his own way. He has his following. He just throws a link up, right? So that's his way. I'm saying, here's a practical way. If it's like a Joe Schmo and you need to get applicants for your content creator role, so you put in a good incentive and you ask people to tag who they know as the best content creators. And that's worked pretty well for me in the past.
Got it. The other thing that I do is I just look at LinkedIn and see who's working for the competition that's producing amazing content. We have a mutual friend, Alex and Layla Hermosi, and I think you mentioned they took someone from his team a while ago. That was a smart move,
they
right?
took one of his. I think he had already left, but Caleb, who was really close with Team Gary Vee, and he's now Acquisition.com's creative director, and he's great.
Cool.
Yep.
So that's a model. If someone can do really well on social, there's a good chance they can do it for you, but you got to make sure when you're looking at their work, it's in similar type of industries. If you're selling dog food, it doesn't have to be cat food. It could be them just doing it for other e-commerce companies. If you're in B2B, selling to enterprise, you'd want someone who's done it for another B2B brand in enterprise. And the reason this is really important is it is easy to make some industries go viral versus others and build up massive amounts of content to your ideal customers and generate revenue. Because remember, you're using social media marketing and all this content creation, not to just create more Google content to get more traffic, or not just to get more Instagram followers. It needs to be the right type of people, the right type of traffic, or else you're not going to get the conversions on the back end.
All right. So that is it for today. Please don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. Give us 5 stars. It helps more than you would ever know. We want to get back to #1 on marketing on their Apple podcast. That is our goal. And we will see you tomorrow.